After months of pre-draft speculation, the NFL draft finally arrived, and it did not go as expected. There were some shockers, but also a lot of needs met and holes filled. Not those kind of holes. Plus, the Raiders finally picked up a quarterback, former defensive coordinator Gus Bradley's son. They also set a record with signing 1 million UDFAs. We'll get into all that and more, and at the end, I'll let you know how I really feel about the Raiders 2024 NFL Draft. In the first round of the 2024 draft, the Raiders selected tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia at pick 13, and it was a shocker to the entire NFL world and also to him.
Do you have any indication that it was going to be the Raiders?
I mean, not really at all. No, it was kind of came as a shock to me and my family and my agent and kind of everyone.
Brock Bowers is a safe pickup. He's going to be a top talent in the NFL, going to play at the tight end position and also the slot position. But the main reason why it was a shocker is because the Raiders have needs at the cornerback position and the offensive tackle position. You have ESPN Paul Gutierrez talking about the pros and cons of this first round pick, and he highlights the fact that offensive tackle and cornerback were a much bigger need. Why another tight end? Last year under Josh McDaniels, the Raiders did select Michael Mayer from Notre Dame in the second round, but Brock Bowers really was the best player available. The Raiders missed out on the quarterback sweepstakes. You had 6 quarterbacks selected above the Raiders pick at pick 13, with Bo Nix and JJ McCarthy being the recent quarterback selected before the Raiders grabbed Brock Bowers. The Raiders could have addressed the need and grabbed offensive tackle Fuaga, or they could have grabbed a cornerback, Quinion Mitchell, Terrion Arnold. The Lions and the Eagles picked those guys up. So I do give this Brock Bowers selection a B+, kind of a B. I feel like the Raiders have way bigger needs on their roster. Tackle, cornerback, could have traded up for a quarterback. And yes, Brock Bowers is talented, was likely the best player available at the time, but it just did not seem like it was a necessary selection. So the Raiders have Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers at wide receiver as well, and now 2 tight ends in Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. But the big question on everybody's mind is who is going to throw the football to them? A combination of Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew at the quarterback position. Because these are the 2 quarterbacks the Raiders have to rely on to compete in the AFC West, that has led the NFL world to doing this. Mock drafts. You have Shadir Sanders to the Raiders already being mocked to Vegas in 2025. So unless Tom Brady comes out of nowhere and decides to take over the starting quarterback job, the Raiders are going to go all in on Minshew Mania, who's making $15 million guaranteed, or Aiden O'Connell if he miraculously beats out this guy in training camp. On the bright side, if things don't work out, at least we'll have Shadur Sanders to look forward to. I understand the Raiders not trading up, not reaching for a quarterback. They didn't expect all those guys to go, but you're just looking at the rest of the NFL right now, and you're looking at the Raiders quarterback room, looking at these teams here, other than the Seahawks with Geno Smith and Sam Howell, or the Giants with Daniel Jones or Drew Lock, other than those 2 teams and the Broncos with the young Bo Nix and Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham, aside from maybe those teams, the Raiders have one of the least inspiring quarterback rooms in the NFL, and there's no other way to spin it. So I don't blame the Raiders because there were no quarterbacks available when they were selecting at pick 13, but I really hope we don't waste another year of Devontae Adams' prime, another year of Max Crosby's prime, because we don't have a franchise quarterback on our roster. The Raiders wanted a quarterback in day 1, but they were not willing to take one in day 2. Seems like the rest of the NFL followed suit, as Spencer Rattler, the next quarterback to be taken after the first round, was not selected until he was drafted by the Saints all the way in the 5th round. But the Raiders GM Tom Telesco never considered the day 2, day 3 guys.
On the 3rd day, no, really not in the 2nd day either. First day, yes, but not after that.
That's just where the evaluation kind of.
Yeah, I mean, if we felt there was a quarterback out there that was better than what we had or could potentially be better, certainly would have done something about it, but just that didn't line up.
So the GM is kind of admitting there that some of the day 1 quarterbacks would have beaten out the QBs on their current roster. In the 2nd round, the Raiders did get an absolute steal with Jackson Powers Johnson, the center/guard from the Oregon Ducks.
And, I'd love to go in the 1st round. I feel like I'm a 1st round player and a 1st round center, but, it's not really up to me, and I'm just excited to go. It's going to be a great time.
That clip was from before the draft. Jackson Powers Powers Johnson does view himself as a first rounder, and so do many scouts around the NFL. He had a really high overall draft score. According to Next Gen Stats, he was the second highest interior offensive lineman in their Next Gen Stats score. This past offseason, you saw guards get paid a crap ton of money. So I'm going to give this pick an A- here. I like this pick. Really great positional value. You're drafting somebody who could have gone in the first round, and you're solidifying that interior offensive line for years to come. In the third round, the Raiders selected the offensive tackle DJ Glaze from Maryland. This was a questionable selection because a lot of people had him mocked to go in the fourth round. The Raiders select him in the third round. The guy is a great pass protector, but has battled through injuries in his career, including in high school, tearing his ACL twice. I am going to defend the guy Glaze because he is a Raider. I am going to glaze Mr. Glaze. I feel like the Raiders should have addressed the tackle position through free agency. I also think they should have addressed it in the first round. So overall, I give this pick a D. I just think you're looking for more of an immediate impact player in the third round. In the fourth round, the Raiders grabbed one of the more athletic cornerbacks from Mississippi State, DeCamerion Richardson. This guy ran a 4.3 40, even though he's sitting at 6'3". He has this high athletic score, was rated the most athletic quarterback according to Next Gen Stats. This is what you want in day 3 in the fourth round. A project guy, a guy you can develop over time who is very athletic. I give this pick a B grade. In the fifth round, the Raiders grab a linebacker, Tommy Eichenberg from Ohio State. This guy is a run stopper type of linebacker who was third among Big Ten linebackers in tackles for a loss or no gain. He also has a brother who's in the NFL, Liam Eichenberg. That guy was selected in the second round by the Miami Dolphins in 2021. So the guy knows the game at a high level, has family who are employed in the NFL. The guy is a great run defender, but you cannot trust him in coverage, and that is what is said in his draft profile. He will be out of his element if forced into NFL coverage responsibilities. You don't want to have a linebacker out there who can't cover. In the sixth round, the Raiders grabbed a receiving running back, Dylan Lobby. This back played at the Senior Bowl, rocking the crop top right here. He must be inspired by the fashion of former Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott. Dylan Lobby averaged 1,500 yards a season while he was with New Hampshire. He is going to try to compete against Amir Abdullah for that third down running back spot. His player comp is Austin Eckler, Danny Woodhead, and Christian McCaffrey territory. However, we do need to chill out. He was selected in the sixth round. The thing that I like the most about this guy is he was talking trash after he was selected. He is pissed off that he fell to the sixth round. I'm so fired up to prove you right and the 31 teams who passed on me wrong. Let's work. So Dylan Lobby is pissed off that all these teams passed on him, but now he gets an opportunity with the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are rolling with the running back committee ever since they moved on from Josh Jacobs. I do think this selection does fill a need. Lobby will be able to compete for a very specific role as a third down running back. I give this draft pick grade a B. In the seventh round, the Raiders grabbed a safety from the Air Force, Trey Taylor. And this guy seems to have a connection with Antonio Pierce.
Trey.
Yeah, what's going on,
Small
Coach?
world, ain't it?
Hey, too small.
Full circle, man. Full circle.
Man, thank you for picking me up. This is a great pick. We must go to work, man.
Come on. Bring that juice when you get here. Tell the family and say hello and enjoy it, all right?
Yeah, I will. I'll tell everybody say what's up.
Okay, enjoy it, all right?
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
More Las Vegas.
Antonio Pierce appears to have a connection with Trey Taylor. Small world. That's what they kept going back to. We don't have a record of him playing at Long Beach Poly, nor did he play at Arizona State, so I'm very curious as to where Antonio Pierce has crossed paths with his safety from the Air Force. But Trey Taylor is Ed Reed's cousin. Perhaps that's where the connection lies between Pierce and Taylor. So that's pretty great, getting NFL insight from Ed Reed, one of the greatest safeties of all time, and also also getting emotional. You can tell the guy wanted to be a Las Vegas Raider. Just because of the emotions alone, I give the Trey Taylor an A+ grade. And by the way, Trey Taylor, thank you for your service. The final pick for the Raiders in the 2024 draft was the cornerback from Pitt, MJ Devonshire, who has amassed around 21 pass deflections and 8 interceptions throughout his college career. He was named second team All-ACC in 2023. The Raiders seem to take a flyer on a high upside cornerback. I like the athletic upside of this pick, so I do give it a B+ grade. After the draft, the Raiders signed a crap load of undrafted free agents. 17 different players signed with the Raiders immediately after the draft. A couple wide receivers here, a couple of edge defenders, guards, offensive tackle Andrew Coker from TCU, but the biggest one is at the quarterback position. The only quarterback the Raiders have grabbed in the past 3 days comes in the form of Carter Bradley, the son of former Raiders defensive coordinator in that 2021 season. The last time the Raiders made the playoffs, Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley's son played at South Alabama, Carter Bradley, and he was also previously a backup quarterback at Toledo. We'll see if Carter Bradley could compete. Obviously, he was not drafted for a reason, but his dad has been a defensive coordinator in the NFL. If that does not help you out, if that cannot lead you to success somehow, then I don't know what can. Let me know your thoughts on the Raiders 2024 draft. Do you think they're going to be able to compete for the division this year? Was Brock Bowers the right choice at pick 13? Or are we going to be looking at Shadir Sanders for 2025? My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.